I've always thought art making has to be some grandiose and revolutionary gesture. You know, some war-ending, romance-inspiring, audience-captivating visual. But as a photographer, I'm not that special. I grew up alongside the dawn of the internet and all of these amazing technological advances. I grew up with immediacy and expendability. I grew up not understanding the incredible distance between a photographer and their images. I also grew up to one day find out that most of the images that were so life-changing to me were possibly staged. This completely shifted how I take photographs. I make work about what's going on around me as I go about my day. I don't make amazing and inspiring work, and honestly, I don't even think photographs can incite change like they once did at the birth of photography. I mean, we don't have to wait months for Dorothea Lange to return from the West to show us the lives of migrant families, or to rely on one man's account of war as we did with Roger Fenton. So, how many photos do you look at every day? How many do you take? There are over 1 trillion photos taken per year, and that number is growing. Sales of digital cameras are declining, but that's because almost every single person has a camera on them at all times. We aren't moved any longer by images. We don't have to wait days for the news to be captured. Worldwide stories are broadcast and uploaded in real time as they unfold. So what does that mean for me as a photographer or for you as an absorber of information? This is the most exciting time to take images. Everyone gets it. Everyone has the ability to be a photographer. Everyone has the ability to find meaning in the most mundane, the most monotonous inundation of images passing by us every day. Ice still in the shape of its former container on a walk to the grocery store. A rat running along a wall during an evening walk. Gigantic spotlights attracting customers from miles away. It's these not so special moments that are everything. Because nothing is special, everything is. So why make artwork? Why take photographs? I mean, I will admit that photographers maybe shoot with a little more intent than the girl in your sorority, but it's all the same principle. We have all seen it all before, but it is why someone stops that is so important. I don't think most images have some special or life-changing message, but you can learn so much if you just question why someone took a photo. These moments are important to me or funny to me, and then the universality comes naturally and the humanity and every day of it. Family, death, food, friends, Taylor Lautner. This moment on the top left, as I'm walking on my way to my grandmother's funeral, I think of Errol Morris in here. Nothing is so obvious that it's obvious. I can look online and see what someone believes to be important. I can see their values. I can see their culture. I can see the objects and people they choose to surround themselves with. I can also see that they, along with 1 million other people, posted a photo online today. And so you can obviously keep scrolling, keep walking, keep avoiding, but maybe you'll see the power an image can hold if you just decide to stop and pay attention. We can see the same thing from images by well-known photographers. This image on the top left, my Aunt Linda posted on Facebook, but to the right of that is an image by Alex Soth. And it is all about these moments, these quiet moments that make everything important. It is through these that we find similarities and common threads. This is humanity, a shared experience. So take the most amazing lunar event that will happen in our lifetime, the great eclipse of 2017. Millions of people flooded Kansas City to see this rare and amazing spectacle. People came from all over the world. The day of the eclipse arrives, we take off work, we get to our campsite away from this city, and then of course, the weather is terrible. Torrential downpours and full cloud coverage. You couldn't even see what you were observing. Everyone was all geared up with their special glasses and their filters for their cameras, only to hardly catch a glimpse of this once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. This shared disappointment, this communal experience, this failed expectation and situational shortcoming, the most amazing spectacle turned into the most boring sky. This is photography for me, and it is the most beautiful thing. So what is about the mundane that feels so real, so raw and revealing? While staged photography can reveal truths, there's some deception involved in this. Sometimes all of the outtakes can create the realest story. It's authentic. It's what we all experience. You see what was not originally meant to be revealed to the lens. And there is no performance yet. This is why failed photography is so interesting. There's an entire website dedicated to this. I take photos for the same reason any parent, grandparent, friend, or classmate takes photos. The reasons are the same as any graduation, third birthday, slumber party, or selfie. To save a moment, to share a moment, and then to later return to that moment, because that moment died the moment I took the photo. And while every day does seem to blur together, moments are quick. Moments only happen once. Photography is the only way I know how to hold on to these experiences, as even at my age, I already find my memory failing me. A photograph is a reference to the present, but also both the past and the future. It inherently deals with death and the ritual associated with it. It references the futility and fragility of life and the menial and mundane tasks we take part in. There are hints of what was, but no longer is. Glimpses of something happening that no longer exists. Light changing throughout the day, the same moment, but different. An impermanent web spun by a spider. Flowers dying, only this alive at this moment. A photograph is also a reference to this moment, but all of the moments before and all of the moments after. They reference something outside of themselves, perhaps through some sort of symbol, describing something through something else. A photo is a reference to place, a person's connection to place, and a desire to create a cultural and personal identity through place. You discover what people value as they classify, react, and adapt to their situations. You see the literal and figurative shrines they create, whether that's a tag at a skate park, a frame on a dresser, or a religious painting. And I'll admit, not everything is so surprising anymore, and not everything is so inspiring. I'm bored in these photos, my family is bored, but I love it. Something so incredibly mundane and coincidental that is happening the moment I walk by, that is why I stop. I think about this huge flag, a symbol of freedom and prosperity. I watch my grandfather, a World War II veteran, in a cemetery, placing flowers on my grandmother's grave, and the boredom and monotony of this ritual, because we have done this so many times for so many people, and I think how this feels far from prosperous, but also kind of funny. This lack of surprise and mindfulness often translates to the powerful images we see throughout the year. We continue scrolling past images of Dr. Ford's trial or persecution at the border or images of protests because they are dispersed between all of the other images we are taking in every day. We are sometimes so desensitized by the mundane that no image holds our attention long enough to gain understanding. Find the importance in the images around you. Absorb the grief, the anger, the injustice, and all of the other emotions that images can tell us. Let images incite change again. They can hold this power, but this starts by paying attention. I'm drawn to photography's nudge to pay attention. I am constantly stimulated by photography's ability to take on so many manifestations. All of these different methods can lead to the same results, the same truths, the same humanity and unity. Use images as a tool to understand your world, but more importantly, the people living in it. Take advantage of this tool that we all understand. Here, I find understanding through photography in a Walmart auto center when I got a flat tire on the way to yet another funeral. And I think how nothing is so obvious that I don't decide to stop. And so you're always told to put away your phones to pay attention, but I would like if everyone could get theirs out now to pay attention. To use your phone as a tool to capture the moment. To remember this moment that is already past. Your scuffed shoes, gum under your seat, the back of your neighbor's head, the ceiling, me, someone else taking a photo. But capture the moment, share the moment, remember it, forget it, bury it in your camera roll, but just use it to pay attention. Thank you.